It's not like having to maybe let contractors go through. We're not going to.
I go around the table. Okay.
Hey, g'day.
Hey, g'day.
What have you got to say about the present situation?
Present situation. We won everything in court and we're still getting fucked up the ass. But we're not going away.
Yeah, today's the day. Get our unfair dismissal money. We've got to pull the picket line down. Missed most of the action, but as you can see, there's a fair bit of burning going on. The stuff we don't, we're not taking back. Seeing Sess has been a bit of a, he's been a bit of a star in the video.
We couldn't get all the gear off the site, including the 2 dongers, which mysteriously burnt down that night, and the police were no help in trying to find the culprits.
There we go. 16 chiefs, no Indians.
So why are you doing that?
Well, mate, I reckon if you throw all the big rocks out, have a look what it looks like then, you're a lot easier on the feet. The old mate Keith, his feet are just about giving out on him.
But at the same time that the picket line was being dismantled, the company reported to the tribunal that it had no intention of reopening the mine and asked that the order to be re-employed be removed. The Commission agreed to remove the order on 26 June 1998. 3 weeks later, the company advertised for mine workers. The picket line was re-established.
You're running a bit late tonight, boys. Still in their fucking working conditions. Hey, making them stay back late.
God.
Getting paid for it, you know. Kids are on contract, you don't get paid for shit like that.
But you didn't have an accident in the fog, eh?
That marked a change in the actual makeup of the people that were on the picket line, because people were getting evicted from houses, people were starting to run out of money, and it meant that a lot of people had to make a decision about whether they're going to stay around or go look for other employment.
With their little cameras.
And we'd previously started off with about 80 of us on the picket line. We got down to about 50 at the time of the unfair dismissal money. And when we actually came back and re-erected the picket line, about a month after we pulled it down, we were down to about 24 of us. So there was a fair change in what we were doing. We actually went to doing 4 days on and 4 days off to keep it manned. Johnny Allen, who was the lodge president, had been from 1993 to 1998. He was one of the ones that had to make a decision financially, and at that time John went and got some work at various contractors, and it was when I took over as president and Dave Weller took over at the same time as being the secretary.
The union returned to the Industrial Commission and sought a permanent order that the former miners be given preference of employment. The Commission made the order permanent on 26 August 1998.
Very good to go and see the Premier today, and I hope that Mr. Beatties is certainly a lot more sympathetic to our cause than Mr. Broadbridge was. Certainly, I'm hoping it's going to be one of the turning points of this dispute. Thank you. You know, the company's obviously hearing something. They're going to try some stuff fairly shortly. Whether that's going to be try and get a group of contractors in there, or just employ cleanskins, we don't know. But they're going to try some stuff, they're gearing up. We were wondering whether it would be possible for the Office of the Premier to at least make an inquiry of them as to what they're planning to do with the thing, whether they're planning them off-board, leave in care and maintenance, man it up.
We can certainly find out. Tony can do that very quickly for you. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the only other thing is, depending on what reply I get back from the police ethical division, or whatever they call themselves,
Right.
police ethical standards unit, I've been having a bit of an ongoing.
And really what you want to find out is what's the future of the
Yeah,
mine.
yeah, that's what we want to know.
Anyway, the two things what you've raised with us, I just mentioned it so Tony's up to date. They're asking us to find out what we can about Gordonstone, whether the mine's going ahead or not, and I've said, well, you know, it's within the limitations we'll try. And you know, basically the future of the mine.
Shots from behind you, and that'll be it.
And then the police thing, I think that's just got to go through the process. I don't know.
The fact that we were down a dead-end road, there wasn't a lot of through traffic except for other mine workers going to other mines. And after 12 months on the picket line, or nearly 12 months, it naturally got a bit wearing down. You know, it was very hot during summertime. And one of the things we appealed to other lodges was to send visitors to the picket line regularly, just to keep the spirits up and show that we weren't alone.
I can't be called. Now that Kathy Gould's gone, I don't know, haven't got any relief.
One of the things you've got to do when you've got a long-running picket line like this one was is find things to amuse ourselves with. And one of the things we did when we used to get photos of staff in the local newspapers was go in and get a copy of that photo and then go and get them blown up. And that's what we've done with Gary Wright.
I am so many guys.
I just haven't got a ticket.
The big night scabbing boys, eh? Big night sucking assholes, eh?
He's a fucking grubs!
He's the biggest arsehole out of the lot. Why do you got no fucking...
One of the problems on the picket line was actually getting the bus to slow down enough or stop long enough for us to vent our feelings to it. And one of the tactics we used to use was using visitors' cars. People that came to the picket line, we get them to park their car and we'd pretend to talk to them about anything that was going on, which allowed us to pull the bus up for a while and let them know what we felt. Coppers had us under fairly tight instructions as to how long we could do it for, but certainly it was one way to relieve the stress of the day.
This will be the first time they've allowed the speed limit, sir. Security beyond the bar. Security beyond.